Welcome, my name is Lucas and this is Fortress Forums. What we're going to talk about today is the latest firmware update, big update for the second generation Intercom. Like you see this one, for example, it's a Villa door station 6113. You remember that Villa door station? Before you used to have in order to get this working, you need to have the indoor station. But now these days with the latest firmware, you can get this unit standalone. So it's really huge improvement. Everyone was waiting for it. Actually, the first thing I ever got this in my hand, I was like, that should be a proper doorbell because it's Wi-Fi connectivity, has a reader, and also has the relay output, so you can open the gate without using the indoor station. Not always everyone want to have that indoor station in the house, especially if that will connect to your Hikconnect, and you will just gonna answer the call the same way as you would with the indoor station. And you can also use multiple phones, just log into the same account. So really great improvement. I'm really happy to have this firmware update. It's working perfectly fine. Just need to get an update. I would recommend to default the unit afterwards and then just start from scratch, activate the unit, which I'm going to show you how to set up in a second. Very, very powerful now. So the other one, it's the firmware update for the modular door stations, those small yokes that you can get different modules like a keypad, display module, and so on. This one has the big update as well, and that will take instead of up to 8 door stations, now you can have up to 15 door stations if you like. The way of setting this whole intercom now, it's totally different to what you used to. So you need to draw the big fat line there and start from scratch. Whatever you learned so far for the previous firmware, it's grand, it will work. But once you have them in your hand and connect them to the network with the latest firmware, it's totally different. The menu is slightly different when you log into the unit via the web browser or via the IVMS software. So I'd just like to show you today how to set them up, how to make them working together, because I come across already somebody tried to set them up and couldn't do it, and they followed the exact procedures, and I catch myself, I was like, yeah, that should work, that shouldn't be any problem. But yes, it's a different story in these latest firmware. So I'd just like to show you how to set them up, and let me go ahead and show you them in IVMS 4200, the latest version as well. So I also have 2 indoor stations, the cool looking ones, the best ones I would say. I love the look of them, really nice and neat. So these two, so I would have 2 door stations and 2 indoor stations, and then if you have the apartment block, you just replicate the issues to like 200 indoor stations if you like. That will be no problem. So let me go ahead and show you the actual software. By the way, if you have any questions, you can go ahead and ask on a chat, or you can just comment in the section below. I will come back to you with those comments later on. So let me actually show you the software. So there will be just 1 second. Here you go. This is our IVMS software, and I do recommend to use the latest software for this update, for the big update. What we have here, it's the 3.3.1.8. This is the latest so far. Has all the features, bells and whistles, and not just for the intercom, but also for example, minimal with the temperature screening. It's all there. You don't have to have it like a custom version of the software. It's already there. So what we have here, we have full devices. Like you see, I already pre-activate them and associate them with different IP address. So my first door station is the 192.168.111, and this is the modular door station KD8003. So this is the new door station. If you might find some other door stations with the B series, there will be like a kind of second generations of the second generation intercom with a new hardware, but the functionality in this case, it will be exactly the same now. The other huge improvement, I must tell you, is the public passwords. You can have up to 16 public passwords as well. So you can have 16 people have their own unique password if you need to. And it doesn't have to be 6-digit code anymore. It can be just 4, as many installers were looking for that. So let me go back to that DoorStation. So what we need to start with is just go with the remote configuration. Like you see here, what is actually open in here, it's the web browser. So you can access this DoorStation via the ordinary web browser. You don't have to, go with the IVMS software, but I do recommend it because we're gonna need some other setting to go to in the indoor station later on. So the system information, basic information, that's all what you're used to, just the basic information about the model number and the firmware of this device. The user capacity, how many users you can enroll to this station right now. But also where we need to go and start with first is the intercom. So the intercom, it's the main DoorStation, like you see here. If you like to make a DoorStation to be an extension, one of the 14 extensions, I'm just going to change the number here. So in this case, this is my main DoorStation, so I'm not going to change the DoorStation number. I'm going to leave it as it is. So that's great. Then I need to go to the session settings. In the session settings, we need to set up the SIP server. So we need to make sure that our network and communication between the device will have some SIP. So we need to create a password for this device. So we go ahead. We can use the same password as you activate your device with. So go save that, and that's it. So time parameters, you can set the duration call up to 120 seconds and so on. Those are settings that used to be there before. So once we have this session settings activated with the password, and we associate with the password with our SIP, we just need to go now, close that for a second, and we're gonna go to our indoor station. I'm just gonna show you the really simple way of setting up, because at the end of the day, there will be a few different ways you can set it up. You can do it in batch mode, or you can do it one by one. So now we're just gonna do it one by one. So we're gonna go to the indoor station. In the indoor station, like you see here, this is the similar page as you used to. And when you go to the intercom, there's no ID information here. So it's all gone from this page. So that's what is different to what you used to have in the previous firmware. This room number and the floor number is not here under the intercom menu or any of the sub menus. We actually have to go to the network and the group network settings. And this is the place where you actually have all the settings regarding the room number, the floor number, and so on. So you see here, this is by default just a room number. You need to make sure the room number is correct. We're going to use that room number later on to associate one of the buttons of your DoorStation to ring that particular indoor station. But before we go there, we also need to enter the password for our SIP. So we just use the same password you use on the DoorStation. Make sure you enter the IP address of your main DoorStation. So like you see here, our main DoorStation, it's 192.168.178.111. And I also type it in the SIP server information. So I can just copy that here. So we're gonna use the same SIP as the main DoorStation. And as well, it's really important if you're using a different type of the DoorStations. In this case, this is the module DoorStation, so we're going to leave it as a D series. If you, for some reason, use the V series, Villa DoorStation, you just need to change it to the V series. So in this case, our main DoorStation, it's the D series. So just save those settings, and now our indoor station is ready and it's connected to the DoorStation. So this is simple, I know, but it's totally different to what you used to have. The menu, it's different. The thing about the SIP, you need to activate the password and so on. So let me close that for a moment. So this is our main DoorStation and one of the indoor stations. So we're just gonna set up the second indoor station now, so like a second apartment. In the second apartment settings, we're just gonna go, like usually I would first go to the time, make sure the time it's syncing up properly as synchronization. Just click the button, click save, that's fine. Again, intercom, everything else, it's exactly the same as it used to be. Like all those other parameters like the volume, output, speak volume, and so on, is still going to be there. You'll find them there, no problem. But if you like to go to that intercom setup and the SIP setup, you go to the network again, group network settings. And the group network settings, you can see here, I have the indoor station, and my room number in this case is going to be number 2, 3, or 9999. It's up to you. So in this case, I'm just going to put as number 2. As well as I need to enter the password for the SIP and make sure my main door station stays the same. So this is it. And I'm just going to put the SIP server IP address here as well. Once I have that, just save. Simple. So far, so good. If for some reason this is not the apartment block and this is not the second independent indoor station, and you just like to set up the second indoor station as an extension of the main indoor station, you can choose to do that here on this page. When you see the indoor extension, you just need to enter the indoor extension and enter number 1 to 5. It's a bit pity that that hasn't been changed to more extensions than 5, but that's the way it is, I'm afraid. So at the moment we have it all saved. So now when I press my button on the door station, it should ring my my first apartment, and it's ringing. I don't know if you can hear it. So there it is. It's ringing over there. So I can answer it. I can unlock the door. Simple, very simple. So this is it. This is the main setup, but I like to show you the bit more advanced setup right now. We're going to add the second door station to our setup, but also we're going to set the second indoor station to be our extension, which is not that easy, as I found it myself. I was struggling a little bit, and it's like where to go, what to change, and you need to point them there at each other. So let me go back to the door station for a second. We're going to log into that door station, and there it is. So at the top of the page, there's a few options here, and what we're going to go is the device management. And the device management, like you see here, all indoor stations, all the apartments will be enrolled here on this page. But this page doesn't only show you the status of what is going on your local network and if they're online or not. Also, just because you're on the page, you can also change the room number setting. So for example, I can set different information about this device. I can set a different room number if you like, and then enroll that to that indoor station without logging into the indoor station manually. So I can do that in the batch mode. I can also export the list. So once you have the whole setup done, the whole like 200 apartments if you like, you can export that information about your setup, and then you have it all in Excel file, which is really handy, because this is what you have here. It's each individual indoor station, its serial number, the password, whatever IP address is associated with. And you can keep going with multiple different indoor stations. Once you know the serial number and the password for each unit, you can assign different floor number or room number and different IP address, and then enroll them to your door station. So I could have 200 them listed, and it's just changed the room numbers for each one of them. Obviously, each one of the indoor stations has to be pre-activated beforehand and associated with the IP address. But then once they have the IP addresses and the serial numbers in place, then you can assign the room numbers in the batch mode. So it's really handy bit of the software option you have here. So it's enough to browse the file. You can download that template if you like, or you can just browse for the file, and that is named whatever you name it when you export it, and that's it. So once you have them associated with this and all the indoor stations with the door station, you can synchronize the settings and you can assign those room numbers automatically. So for example, I like to have this room number 2 named differently. So I like to have it set as number 5, for example. So in this case, I'm just going to go to the setting here for the room number, change it to 5, save it. That's saved, and now I need to send that information back to my unit. So I'm just going to select all my devices here and synchronize them with the actual indoor station. So that's really a handy piece of the software you have there embedded into that door station right now. The other feature in the door station is when you go to the intercom, what you have there, you have the press button to call. So for example, this one module door station has one button, but if you have the name tag module for the door station, you can have them all listed here. So there will be like 6 different buttons listed. So each individual button can be listed, can be associated with different apartment number. So in this case, I can just associate this number, the button number 1 with the apartment number 5, if I like, or any other apartment number. I just need to save those settings. The other thing, it's new to this door station. You can schedule the calls. So you can schedule different time of the day, what's going to happen. So by default, it will call whatever room number you selected here all day. But also you can schedule, in the case if you have the reception or security guard, different time of the day, you can assign at what time it will ring an office with apartment number 2 in this case, and when it's going to call the center. It could be your IVMS software or the master station in the network. So you can associate different time of the day with a different scenario. So during the 9 to 5 working hours, it will call the main office, but outside those hours, you can change it to call the security guard, and that will call the actual piece of the software, IVMS 4200 software, if you need to. So this is another cool thing that I found in the latest firmware. So as I said, what we have here, I'm just going to close that page, and we're going to go and move on to door station number 2, which is our Villa door station. So we're going to make our Villa door station to be a second door as an extension of that door, main door. So let me go ahead and go to the remote configuration. Again, we have the web browser, so we're just going to log it in to the web browser, and this is it. So we go configuration. In configuration, you have the intercom, again, the same page, but in this case, instead of the Villa door station number 0, which would be the main door station, we're going to change it to 1. So once we have that changed to 1, it will reboot the unit, and it's going to ask you for the actual door station, main door station settings. So in this case, oh, sorry, go back here. So if I will go to my network and advanced settings, in other settings, you can see there's the main door station IP address. So I just put the main door station IP address, the same for the SIP. So it will point at the main door station. So it will be looking for what kind of setting do you have on the module door station, and it will sync it up with all the SIP information, and it will know then what to do and if it needs to be displayed at the indoor station. So once we go to the intercom again, on this page again you have this press button to call, so you can choose what apartment will be called from the second unit. So I can just change it to number 1 in this case, and that will ring the apartment number 1. So each door you can call different apartments if you need to as well. It doesn't have to be exactly the same apartment. If there is a multi-store or like a few offices, and each individual apartment or office has a different entrance, for example, and they would have their own door station, you can associate that door station just with that apartment, and when they press the button, they're going to call that one apartment or office, whatever you call it. So also, like I said, this is the Villa door station. So that new Villa door station has this platform access. So that means you can have this door station standalone. So it doesn't have to be connected to your intercom setup altogether. It could be a standalone unit, just calling your phone, Hikconnect mobile app, and that's it, nothing else, without any indoor station, any second main door stations, anything like that. It's just enough to enable the Hikconnect, enter the verification code. The encryption code, I would recommend to use the same as you have at the back of the unit, so you won't forget. It's always going to be there for you. So when you associate in your door station with your account, you know what the verification code is. And it's at the back on that QR code, just under the QR code, there's a verification code just here. So that's the verification code you're going to use to associate this door station with your Hik Connect. So really, really simple. So once you have the other station associated with the main door station, that's it. Our second door should ring the apartment number 1, and it does actually. So there it is, it's showing here now. So I can answer it, I can unlock the door just for that one door if I need to. Within the unit itself, you can tell there is the live view, and in the live view I have the camera, the front camera associated with this device. So there is my front camera. So I'm just going to show you how to add the camera via the IVMS software as well. This is the indoor station number 1. So again, we just go with the remote configuration. In the remote configuration, I just need to go to Intercom and IP camera configuration. So you can associate add the cameras from your local network or from the recorder to your Intercom as well, which you probably know about it, but just like as a reminder where to go. It's still in the same page and the sub menu, and the only thing is you just click the add button, and once you click the add button, you enter the IP address of the camera, the 554, because it's taken the RTSP string, the username and password of this particular camera, or the channel number of the recorder. So if that is the recorder you're communicating with, you just put the channel number 1 up to whatever, how many channels you have there. And you just need to add the individual cameras one by one. So that's pretty much it. But I promised to show you how to add the second indoor station to be an extension. So at the moment they're both indoor stations fully independent. So I'm just going to show you how to change the indoor station number 2 to be an extension of the indoor number 1. So I need to remember the IP address. So my first indoor station it's on 112. My second indoor station is on 113. So this is all information pretty much I'm gonna need for now. So we go back again to network, group network settings, and instead of the independent indoor station, I just changed that to indoor extension and just put the number 1. So that's it. That should be saved now. So here you go. That's saved. So now I can go back again. There it is. So this is the page I'm looking for. So now my second indoor station is an extension. And again, I need to enter the password of our SIP, which is the same as I activate the unit with. And I need to make sure that I enter the IP address of my indoor station, of the main indoor station, which is, as I said to you before, it's 112. So I need to make sure the 112 is here. Save those settings, but this is not finished yet, and this is the extra step you need to do in order to kind of communicate them together. So we need to log in to the actual indoor station number 1 now, which is a bit confusing that you have to do it on both devices. Before it was only just like pointing the extension at the main indoor station, that's it, it was syncing up straight away. In this case, we actually need to tell the indoor station number 1 and the indoor station extension that such a thing does exist. So what I need to do is take the serial number of our extension. So this is the serial number here. I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to log in remotely to our indoor station. So this is our indoor station, and Intercom setting, there is something like SIP number settings. So you can see here there's empty page. So I need to add my extension. So I just enter the indoor station extension serial number, which I copied from the main, sorry, from the second indoor station, enter the IP address, which is the 113, the gateway from our network, subnet, and the password of this device, and the SIP. And this is the first extension, so that will be number 1. So now I save it. Oh, sorry, I missed the 0 at the very end. Here you go. So this is all the information we need: the serial number, the password, and IP address of that extension. So I could keep adding the extensions here, but yeah, that's again a bit more of the manual setting you need to do compared to the previous firmware. Once it's registered, like at the moment it's unregistered, when I click the refresh, it's registered. So now both devices are seeing each other. So my extension and my indoor station, main indoor station, they're like one piece of equipment. So if I ring my indoor station number 1, it will ring on the both devices. So which one was it now? I just need to make sure. My door station is actually calling the apartment number 1. So my door station number 1, I think I changed the button settings. So press the button, yeah. So I need to change that button to call apartment number 1. That's it. So now I have them both ringing at the same time, and you can see here I can answer either one, and the other one will discontinue. The same thing happened when I actually answered the call at the app on the phone. So let me show you how does it look like on the app on the phone. Basically, it's really simple as well. So let me get my phone here out now. So there it is. That's my phone. So if I press the button again, it will start ringing my phone. So there's a notification, and it just comes up with the door station, the module door station. So I can answer the call, and also I can just open the door if I like, or I can talk to whoever is on the front of the unit as well. So I click the stop button, it will just pause, and that's it. Another cool thing within the app itself, when you go to the app, just come on. So this is our door station, the main indoor station. Like you see here, I have 2 door stations associated with that door station, but also I have my standalone door station down below the KV. So in this case, I can open each one of the gates just from that page. I don't have to actually go to the door station and click the unlock button on the bottom. I can actually unlock it from the main page, and that will be unlocked straight away. Really cool feature as well. So this is simple. This is really straightforward. You've probably seen that on the app itself. Pretty much that's all what is to it regarding the setup, how to set up the one-to-one or multiple door stations to multiple apartments, including the individual apartments or extensions if you like. If you have any additional questions, or if you have any queries regarding how to do additional setup, if you have any ideas what else could be improved, we're all here to answer all those questions or pass them over to the Hikvision. And if you have anything to say about the new firmware, you're always welcome to send us a feedback. The whole setup of the intercom is not as easy as it used to be, that's for sure. So if you place an order and you're not sure how to set them up yet, you can always ask the sales guys and to bring that to our office, and we're going to pre-configure them for you. That's no problem. You can pre-configure them. There's no too small, too big a job for us. So we can do 200 apartments if you like, or we can do one-to-one if you need to as well. So thank you very much again for your time, and I will see you next week. Next week I have something special, totally different. You haven't seen it on this channel yet, on none of the photos forums. It will be regarding the Hick Central and the time and attendance. But it wouldn't be just the time and attendance, it would be with the facial recognition time and attendance. So imagine you had one of the minimos with the temperature screening, or a simple minimo with the facial recognition camera, and if they're members of staff, you can pull out the report at the end of the week or a month, how many hours they attend this month. So looking forward to the next one. So thank you very much again. Stay awesome as always, and see you next week. Bye.